Hey, everybody, welcome back. Meg, how you doing? Welcome. Glad to hear you're cleaning up the camera roll. I have to go through and do that because every time I make like a video or something, it saves in a few places. So I'll like have the raw content, then it'll be created on TikTok. Then I have like the actual video file from TikTok, and then I post that to Twitter. You know, it's like I have all this junk after just one project. Feeling good. I just took a shower, and then I will go to work at 12. So I'll probably leave around 11:30 for that. So I figured I could get one in and maybe get another act done in Doki Doki. I started it yesterday, and I got through Act 1. Where Sayori gets eliminated, so now we're starting where the game gets all quirky, creepy. Hey, what's up, Suze? Good morning, welcome. This is my mom, everybody. See that thing next to your name? It's like, it says a number 1 with first next to it. That means you're my very first subscriber ever. So that's a special badge that that no one else can have. Yeah, Yuri, you know, Sayori, that's obviously like a really sad one, but the Yuri one is like more relatable. It's something that I've interacted with, her story, like in real life with other people. So it's that one is like really sad, and then she does the best at like hiding it, I guess, so that makes it even sadder. But I like playing this game because it helps me like practice voice acting. It's a lot of reading. So if you guys don't know, I made a TikTok to help drive traffic to my Twitch. I'm at TDaddyStarfish on TikTok, and I've been making some content on there. It's mostly just like snippets from my streams, or like I made a couple that are informing people that the game's free. Also, if you didn't notice, to the left of the chat bar, there's a little sand dollar symbol, and those are channel points. So you get those just by hanging out. They accumulate over time, and you can cash those in. Meg just demonstrated the check-in. It's one sand dollar. And it just tells you that you're checking into the stream. And there's also an Ask Me Anything, so you can ask me a question. And then it just goes up from there. You can even go up to getting a gifted sub for you or someone else. And I'll pay for it. What's up? I know you're at work, so check in when you can. Oh, man. Feels great to be back on Twitch. I took some time off when my schooling was getting a little much, but this semester it's 3 classes again, but they're pretty low maintenance. So it feels so great to stream, even though I've taken over my living room. Yeah, Meg, Sayori's my favorite. I just like that character a little more. But Yuri makes me, I guess, feel the most. It's not that Sayori or anyone else doesn't have like a sad story. It's just there's something about her story that's relatable and hits home. The character feels the most fleshed out and real, whereas like Monica, she just feels like I don't know, just like a bot plugged into the game. I do have like Natsuki with the dad issues and stuff. Like her story is a little more complex. Like when you're adding other characters within the story in her life, that makes it feel a little more real. But you know how Yuri like apologizes just for like existing, basically. Like I work with a few people like that and know people like that, and it's like they're just a whirlwind within themselves. They're like saying things and then apologizing for saying things and so on. And you just kind of have empathy for them, and you want them to just feel like safe, you know? Yeah. But this is the first graphic novel I ever played, and it's just amazing how you can't judge the book by the cover kind of thing. You would never think the direction it goes from the first act. And then when you go back a second time, then you start seeing the writing on the wall and connecting those dots with the foreshadowing. But the first time, you just have no idea. Yeah, Monica is just, like, scary. But, and I agree with you, but she also doesn't feel real. You know, to me, she just feels like an AI bot, which is scary. Yeah, totally. They need to make more graphic novels that are like this, because when I originally streamed this and I started to get some good traffic on my page, then I started looking for other graphic novels, and none of them hit the same way at all. They just they don't feel the same. Yeah, Best Mom, welcome in. Should I have a channel reward that you just click and then it just says, "You stink"? Are you working from home today? You stink. You think we should make it? Do you think you think the thing should just be called "You Stink," or should it actually play an audio clip like this? Hang on. I know some would like this. Bear with me, gang. It might play an ad, so hold on.
What are they? Vegetables or fruit? And what does that make? Ketchup.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Just play that. Should it be "You stink" or "This guy stinks"? That would be funny. In office at the moment, but 10 a.m. Oh, so you got your meeting coming up, huh? Oh, you really do. It's like 2 minutes away. So you show up at the office for a meeting and then you work from home? That's not bad. I have work at 12, so I'm going to stop around 11:15. We could do that. I also want one from the Backstreet Boys. What was it? I was thinking about it in the shower. I've been on NSYNC. I've been on an NSYNC kick. Joey Fatone was on the Steve-O podcast, and then I started watching the A&E documentary of how NSYNC formed and everything. So I've been into them. This guy stinks. I know some would like that. Some abroad. All right, guys, I don't have a lot of time to stream, so let's hop into the game. I have about an hour and 15 minutes, so we can do some damage. We can get some done. Let's go! Okay, so we are hopping in to Act 2, and there's a bunch of gurgled text. I see an annoying girl running towards me from the distance, waving her arms in the air like she's totally oblivious to any attention she might draw to herself. This girl is my neighbor and good friends since we were children. You know the kind of friend you'd never see yourself making today, but it just kind of works out because you've known each other for so long? I know. I don't know exactly what I should say when the curse writing shows up, so I just go... We used to walk to school together on days like this, but starting around high school, she would oversleep more and more frequently, and I would get tired of waiting up. But if she keeps going to chase after me like this, I almost feel better off running away. However, I just sigh and idle in front of the crosswalk and let catch up. Oh! Oh, God. It's an ordinary school day like any other. Mornings are usually the worst, being surrounded by couples and friend groups walking together. I know. Isn't it funny how they give you like a second where Sayori kind of exists, and then they're like, you've been Monica'd. Meanwhile, I've always walked to school alone. I always tell myself it's about the time I meet some girls or something like that, but I have no motivation to join any clubs. I'm perfectly content just getting by on the average while spending my free time on games and anime. This part, the game from here moving on, it just completely zooms. Getting to this point, it feels a little slow sometimes, but then it's just like, it's all creepy. There's always the anime club, but it's not like there would be any girls in it anyway. Boing. The school day is as ordinary as ever, and it's over before I know it. After I pack up my things, I stare blankly at the wall, looking for an ounce of motivation. Yeah, I agree. It gets so much more fun. Clubs, there really aren't any that interest me. Besides, most of them would probably be way too demanding for me to want to deal with. I guess I have no choice but to start with the anime club. Starfish? Oh! Monica? Oh my goodness, I totally didn't expect to see you here. It's been a while, right? Yeah, it has. Monica smiles sweetly. We do know each other. Well, we rarely talked, but we were in the same class last year. Monica was probably the most popular girl in class. Smart, beautiful, athletic. Basically, completely out of my league. So having her smile at me so genuinely feels a little... What did you come in here for anyway? Oh, I've just been looking for some supplies to use for my club. Do you know if there's any construction paper in here? Or markers? I guess you could check the closet. You're in the debate club, right? About that. I actually quit the debate club. Really? You quit? Yeah. To be honest, I can't stand all of the politics around the major clubs. It feels like nothing but arguing about the budget and publicity and how to prepare for events. I'd much rather take something I personally enjoy and make something special out of it. In that case, what club did you decide to join? Actually, I'm starting a new one. Oh, a literature club. Literature? That sounds kind of dull. How many members do you have so far? It's kind of embarrassing, but there's only 3 of us so far. It's really hard to find new members for something that sounds so boring. Well, I can see that. But it's really not boring at all, you know? Literature can be anything: reading, writing, poetry. I mean, one of my members even keeps her manga collection in the club room. Wait, really? Yeah, it's funny, right? She always insists that manga is literature too. I mean, she's not wrong. And besides, a member's a member, right? Did Monica say she... Hey, Starfish, by any chance, are you still looking for a club to join? I mean, I guess so, but... I know. And now it's like, there's only 3 members. Is there any chance you could do a big favor? Sayori is now known as... I won't ask you to join, but if you could, at the very least, visit my club, it would make me really happy. Please. Well, I guess I have no reason to refuse. Besides, how could I ever refuse someone like Monica? Sure, I guess I could check it out. Awesome. You're really sweet, Starfish. You know that? It's nothing, really. Shall we go then? I'll look for the materials another time. You're more important. Well, the closet's right there. We could look. And thus, today marks the day I sold my soul to Monica and her irresistible smile. I timidly follow Monica across the school and upstairs, a section of the school I rarely visit, being generally used for the third-year classes and activities. Monica, full of energy, swings open the classroom door. I'm back, and I brought a guest with me. Huh? A guest? Seriously, you brought a boy? Way to kill the atmosphere. Don't be mean, Natsuki. But anyway, welcome to the club, Starfish. All words escape me in this situation. This club is full of incredibly cute girls. So let me guess. You're Monika's boyfriend, right? What? No, I'm not. Natsuki. This girl with the sour attitude, whose name is apparently Natsuki, one I don't recognize. Her small figure makes me think she's probably a first year. Anyway, this is Natsuki's... Oh, sorry. Anyway, this is Natsuki, energetic as usual. And this is Yuri, vice president. I know, right? That's the fun thing about revisiting this, is that you can kind of look at all that. It's nice to meet you. Yuri, who appears comparably more mature and timid, seems to have a hard time keeping up with someone like Natsuki. Yeah, it's nice to meet both of you. So I ran into Starfish in a classroom and he decided to come check out the club. Isn't that great? Wait, Monika. Didn't I tell you to let me know in advance before you brought anyone new? I was going to, well, you know. Sorry. I didn't forget that, but I just happened to run into him. In that case, I should at least make some tea, right? Yeah, that would be great. Why don't you come sit down, Starfish? The girls have a few desks arranged to form a table. Yuri walks to the corner of the room and opens the closet. Meanwhile, Monika and Natsuki sit across from each other. Still feeling awkward, I take a seat next to Monika. Yeah, it's sweet, right? So I know you didn't really plan on coming here, but we'll make sure you feel right at home. Isn't it just funny how cozy this game can feel? And then, in the blink of an eye, it's just like death and despair. As president of the Literature Club, it's my duty to make the club fun and exciting for everyone. It's the most, like, emotionally contrasting game. I'm surprised there aren't more people in the club yet. I'm tempted to buy a physical copy of the game and not open it, just as, like, a keepsake. Like, maybe a Nintendo Switch copy or something. It must be hard to start a new club. You could put it that way. Not many people are very interested in putting out all the efforts start with something brand new. Meg, did you know that Epic Games is giving away the game for free? Yeah, it's well, you said you kind of see yourself in Yuri, so that, or it hits home, so that's kind of a feeling of being related to, but then aesthetically, the game feels like I'm in a donut shop. And then it's weird, like, but even like scary movies can be comforting sometimes. Especially when it's something that doesn't grab your attention like literature. You have to work hard to convince people that you're both fun and worthwhile. Yeah, that's the funny thing. I already had the Plus version too, and then and now Epic has it for free. But it makes school events like the festival that much more important. This is just the regular version, though, just to keep it simple for the stream. I'm confident that we all can really grow the club before we graduate. Right, Natsuki? Well, I guess. Natsuki reluctantly agrees. Such different girls, all interested in the same goal. Monika must have worked really hard just to find these two. Yuri returns to the table carrying a tea set. She carefully places a teacup in front of each of us before setting down the teapot in the middle. You keep a whole tea set in the classroom? Don't worry, the teacher gave us permission. After all, doesn't a hot cup of tea help you enjoy a good book? I guess. Don't let yourself get intimidated. Yuri's just trying to impress you. That's not... Insulted, Yuri looks away. I mean, I meant that, you know... I believe you. Well, tea and reading might not be my pastime, but at least I enjoy tea. I'm glad. Yuri faintly smiles to herself and in relief. So, Starfish, what kind of things do you like to read? Well, considering how little I've read in the past few years, I don't really have a good way of answering that. Manga. I mutter quietly to myself, half joking. Natsuki's head suddenly perks up. It looks like she wants to say something, but she keeps quiet. Not much of a reader, I guess. Well, that can change. What am I saying? I spoke without thinking after seeing Yuri's sad smile. Anyway, what about you, Yuri? Well, let's see. Yuri traces the rim of her teacup with her finger. My favorite are usually novels that build deep and complex fantasy worlds. The level of creativity and craftsmanship behind them is amazing to me. And telling a good story in such a foreign world is especially impressive. Yuri goes on, clearly passionate about her reading. She seems so reserved and timid since the moment I walked in, but it's obvious by the way her eyes light up that she finds her comfort in the world of books and not people. There's going to be an ad break in about a minute, gang. But you know I like a lot of things. Stories with deep psychological elements usually immerse me as well. Isn't it amazing how a writer can so deliberately take advantage of your own lack of imagination to completely throw you for a loop? Anyway, I've been reading a lot of horror lately. I read a horror book once. I desperately grasp something I can relate to at the minimum level. At this rate, you might as well be having a conversation with a rock. I'd expect that from you, Yuri. It suits your personality. Is that so? Really, if a story makes me think or take me to another world, then I really can't put it down. Surreal how horror is often very successful at changing the way you look at the world, if only for a brief moment. Yeah, I'm a huge Stephen King fan. Can you hear me right now? Because there may be an ad playing. It's not always accurate to if an ad's playing or not. I have a VHS collection of horror movies. It's one of my hobbies, and my dad and brother loved horror movies when I was growing up, so that kind of got me into it. Okay, good. So, actually, funny enough, I'm sitting here talking. This behind me is a mural of The Shining. That's the sweater that Danny wears. That's a poster of The Overlook. That's my VHS copy of The Shining, my Blu-ray, and the door tag. So, and I've listened to the audiobook of The Shining, even though it's like 14 hours or 20 hours. I've listened to that like 3 times. It's my favorite movie. Ugh, I hate horror. Oh, why's that? Well, Natsuki's eyes dart over to me for a split second. Never mind. That's right, you usually like to write down cute things, don't you? What? What gives you that idea? You left a piece of scrap paper behind the last club meeting. It looked like you were working on a poem called... Don't say it out loud. And give that back. Fine. Natsuki, you write your own poems? Yeah. Those kind of shows are cool because you're getting more of like... First of all, it's not just like graphic, violent imagery. And you're also usually learning some history about a place. I like shows like that too. Well, I guess sometimes. Why do you care? I think that's impressive. Why don't you share them sometime? No. Natsuki averts her eyes. You wouldn't like them. Ah, not a very confident writer yet? I understand how Natsuki feels. Yeah, see, my system says that the ads are over now. Sharing that level of writing takes more than just confidence. The truest forms of writing is writing to oneself. You must be willing to open up to your readers, exposing your vulnerabilities and showing even the deepest reaches of your heart. Do you have writing experience too, Yuri? Yeah, how long were the ads for you? Because my system said that the ads are running for 90 seconds, and then it said everyone was back. Maybe if you share some of your work, you can set an example and help Natsuki feel comfortable enough to share hers. What was it about? And how long were the ad breaks? Was it 30 seconds? I guess it's the same for Yuri. We all sit in silence for a moment. Hey, I just got an idea. How about this? Okay, yeah. That's what it said on my system. I just use the recommended... There's a new feature where Twitch will essentially decide what your ad should look like, and then you get a bigger percent, like you get 55% of the ads if you do it their way. But 90 seconds, ugh. I think it's 90 seconds every half an hour, which I guess compared to TV it's better, but it's still a lot. Natsuki and Yuri look quizzically at Monica. Let's all go home and write a poem of our own. Then, next time we meet, we'll all share them with each other. That way, everyone is even. Oh, Meg, now that I'm just using my PC for everything, I used to play the retro games on my Mac, like the Resident Evil trilogy, and when I kind of moved over to just PC, I never found like a really good emulator to play old games, and last night, I got one working perfectly. It's called Launchpad. It looks like a Rubik's Cube, and it's running the my old games perfectly. Well, perfectly for how they can. So now I can start streaming the Resident Evil trilogy again. I think I want to do like some kind of special run, handgun only or something. I also want to try a rifle only run of Resident Evil 4. Like make it to the rifle and use that as my only weapon. What the heck? Is it just playing ads for what we're talking about? That was too on the nose. What kind of commercial shows that? That's crazy. But yeah, it's... See, with my other emulators on the PC, it wouldn't actually store the games within the emulator, so I had to have a folder somewhere on my computer and then load the game each time from that folder. What's it called? I think it's called Launchpad. Yeah, Launchbox. Launchbox actually stores the games within the app, so I can just scroll through them. You ran out of bullets on the first bit of 2? That's like... It's funny that happened because that's the game that they give you like the most ammo for. But in that first bit, you can't really shoot any of the zombies. You just have to run through that first. You have to get to Kendo without shooting any. And then if you can run up and grab his shotgun without shooting any, or get the shotgun and then shoot, like you're in a better spot. They give you so much ammo. I can't wait to play Resident Evil 2 again. It's been a little bit. I mean, I thought it was a good idea. You got it fired up again and then and then just run through without shooting anything. I think you're right, Monica. We should probably start finding activities for all of us to participate in together. I did decide to take on the responsibility of vice president after all. I need to do my best to nurture the club as well as its members. Yeah, you got to get back into it and play again. Because once you get through that section, I think you'd be okay. Just get to the first save, and then just stagger your saves. Well, the short answer is, you know, you can pick whoever you want because the game is going to do that zapping system and you can, you know, it's fun either way. But I think you're supposed to play... I always get this confused too. Hang on. Okay, so the canon route is Claire A, Leon B. Well, yeah, then don't decide. Just play it like canon. So you do Claire first, and then you play Leon second. which honestly is makes it easier as well because Leon's weapons that he gets pack more of a punch, so so it makes it a little bit easier to get through. But yeah, just play canon. I hate decisions too, though. Like, I hate food decisions. Deciding what I'm gonna eat, deciding which pasta sauce to get. I don't do well with that. It seems like a good step for us to take. Do you agree as well, Starfish? Hold on, there's still one problem. What's that? Now that we've reached the most important topic, I bluntly come forth with what's been on my mind the entire time. I never said I would join the club. Monica may have convinced me to stop by, but I never made any decisions. One way I deal with clothing decisions or shoes or whatever is I just pick the yellow ones. This hoodie was given to me, so I didn't have to pick, but my mom gave me this for Christmas. But I pick yellow things. I still have other clubs to look at. I lost my train of thought. All three girls stare back at me with dejected eyes. But I'm sorry, I thought... Huh? I know, MC is just like, I didn't say I was gonna be in your stupid club. The girls exchange glances before Monica turns back to me. I guess I need to tell you the truth, Starfish. The thing is, we don't have enough members yet to form an official club. We need 4. And I've been trying really, really hard to find new members. See, that's interesting because they already had 4 members previously, so there wasn't as much pressure put on the main character to join. I think so. And if we don't find one more before the festival, I'm defenseless against these girls. How am I supposed to make a clear-headed decision when it's like this? I would feel terrible for letting everyone down in this situation. And besides, the club itself seems pretty relaxed. So, if writing poems is the price I need to pay in order to spend every day with these beautiful girls, right? Okay, I've decided then. I'll join the literature club. Yay! Oh, one by one, the girls' eyes light up. Oh my goodness, really? Do you really mean that, Starfish? Yeah. It could be fun, right? You really did scare me for a moment. I mean, if you really just left after all this, I'd be super pissed. There's not even cupcakes. Why would you be super pissed? Starfish, I'm so happy. We could become an official club now. Thank you so much for this. You're really amazing. I'll do everything I can to give you a great time, okay? Thanks, I guess. Okay, everyone. I think with that, we can officially end today's meeting on a good note. Everyone remember tonight's assignment. Write a poem to bring to the next meeting so we can all share. Monica looks over at me once more. Starfish, I look forward to seeing how you express yourself. Yeah. Can I really impress the class star Monica with my mediocre writing skills? I already feel the anxiety welling up inside me. Meanwhile, the girls continue to chit-chat as Yuri cleans up the tea set. I guess I'll be on my way then. Okay. I'll see you tomorrow then. I can't wait. See, like, even getting through this section was so much faster now than in the first chapter. It's like the game, it feels a little draggy in the first chapter, and then it just rolls, doesn't it, Meg? With that, I depart the club room and make my way home. The whole way, my mind wanders back and forth between the 3 girls, Natsuki, Yuri, and of course, Monica. Will I really be happy spending every day after school in a literature club? Perhaps I'll have the chance to grow closer to one of these girls. All right. I'll just need to make the most of my circumstances, and I'm sure good fortune will find me. And I guess that starts with writing a poem tonight. Yeah, Oh, we've unlocked a special poem, guys. A dream. I was wandering an abandoned warehouse at night. I was lost looking for an exit. I just wanted to go home. I came upon a huge empty room, its ceiling and walls beyond the deep blackness. My steps were quick in order to hurry to the other side or to a wall, anything. Suddenly, the ground was no longer beneath my feet. I stepped into a hole of indeterminate width. I fell for a good 5 seconds before crashing into warm water. Figuring out which way was up, I surfaced myself. The air was humid, and the sounds of my splashing reverberated endlessly. My vision was completely swallowed by the dark. With one hand, I could feel the damp metal wall of the container. My lungs were getting tired already. Cool. All right, I'm going to refill my coffee. We got a secret poem. All right, think about what we should say for the poem. I'll be right back. And I am back. Okay, let's go for the Yuri route. Intellectual. Tenacious. Universe. Disoriented. Raindrop. Eternity. Unrequited. Excitement. Inferno. Incongruent. Headphones. Oh. Tragedy. Depression. Uncontrollable. Starscape. Got it. Electricity. Heaven sent. Extraordinary. Oh. Effulgent. Adventure. Oh. After image. Oh! 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 What was that? Man, time is flying by. Hi again, Starfish. Glad to see you didn't run away on us. Nah, don't worry. This might be a little strange for me, but I at least keep my word. Well, I'm back at the Literature Club. I was the last to come in, so everyone else is already hanging out. Oh no. Oh wait, hang on. Da-da-da. Yeah, it blocks something. Oh, bite me was held for sex words. Yeah, I guess. There we go. But yeah, man, it just goes by fast and... Yes, it does. I hope this isn't too overwhelming of a commitment, making you dive headfirst into literature when you're not accustomed to it. Oh, come on, like he deserved any slack. You already had to be dragged here by Monica. I don't know if you plan to just come here and hang out or what, but if you don't take us seriously, then you won't see the end of it. Hey, you're in the way of the text. I have a big mouth for someone who keeps... Get out of the way! Natsuki finds herself stuck between saying Monica and manga. Manga is literature. Swiftly defeated, Natsuki plops back into her seat. I'm sorry, Starfish. We'll make sure to put your comfort first, okay? Yuri shoots Natsuki with a disappointed glance. Anyway, now that you're in the club and all... Yeah! Get out of the way. Perhaps you might have an interest in picking up a book to read. Well, I can't really say no either way. Like you said, I'm in this club now, so it only feels right for me to do something like that if you ask. Wait, I didn't mean it like that. If you don't really want to, then forget I said anything, I guess. See, just that characteristic of Yuri where she's like maybe too apologetic and thinks that she's like doing harm. No, it's not that, Yuri. I want to try to be a part of this club. So even if I don't read often, I'd be happy to pick up a book if you wanted me to. Are you sure? I just felt like, well, as vice president and all, that I should help you get started or something you might like. Hey guys, I'm Starfish. Welcome in. We're playing Doki Doki Plus, which is free on Epic Games until February 15th. So download a copy. It's normally $14.99, and it's a little Valentine's gift. Enjoy. Yuri reaches into her bag and pulls out a book. I didn't want you to feel left out, so I picked out a book that I thought you might enjoy. We got Meg in the chat. Feel free to jump in. It's a short read, so it should keep your attention, even if you don't usually read. And we could do, you know, discuss it if you wanted. How is this girl accidentally being so cute? She even picked out a book she thinks I'll like, despite me not reading much. Yuri, thank you. I'll definitely read this. I enthusiastically take the book. Phew. Well, you can read it at your own pace. I look forward to hearing what you think. Now that everyone's settled in, I expected Monica to kick off some scheduled activities for the club, but that doesn't seem to be the case. Yuri's face is already buried in a book. I can't help but notice her intense expression, like she was waiting for this chance. Meanwhile, Natsuki is rummaging around in the closet. I'm really curious to talk to Yuri a little bit more, but at the same time, I would feel bad for distracting her from reading. I would feel a little stressed interacting with Yuri, like kind of being apologetic of her own words. I catch a glimpse of the cover of her book. It looks like the same book that she lent to me. More than that, she seems to be on the first few pages. Crap. I think she noticed me looking at her. She sneaks another glance at me, and our eyes meet for a split second. But that only makes her hide her face deeper in her book. Sorry. I was just spacing out. I mutter this sensing I made her uncomfortable. Oh? It's fine. If I was focused, then I probably wouldn't have noticed in the first place. But I'm just reading a bit of this, so... Oh, sure. Yeah, my mom's a little bit like that, too. Just like... And my brother. People come and, like... consoling you. But I'm just rereading a bit of this, so... That's the book that you gave me, right? Mm-hmm. I wanted to reread some of it. Not for any particular reason. Just curious, how come you have two copies of the same book? Well, when I stopped at the bookstore yesterday... that's not what I meant. I mean, I just happened to buy two of them. Okay, I see. There's something fairly obvious here that Yuri isn't telling me, but I decided to let it go. I'll definitely start reading it soon. I'm glad to hear. Once it starts to pick up, you might have a hard time putting it down. It's a very engaging and relatable story. Is that so? What's the story about anyway? Well, I look at the cover of the book. The book is titled Portrait of Markov. There's an ominous-looking eye symbol on the front cover. Basically, it's about the religious camp that was turned into a human experiment prison, and the people trapped there have this trait that turns them into killing machines that lust for blood. Isn't that like the story of like Stranger Things? But the facility gets even worse, and they start selectively breeding people by cutting off their limbs and affixing them to... Oh, that might be a little bit of a spoiler. But anyway, I'm really into it. Yeah, no spoilers. The book, I mean. Not the thing about the limbs. That's kind of dark, isn't it? Yuri made it sound like it was going to be a nice story, so the dark turn came from nowhere. You're not a fan of that sort of thing, Starfish. No, it's not that. I mean, I can definitely enjoy those kind of stories, so I don't worry. I hope so. Yeah, I totally forgot that Yuri is into those things. She's so shy and reclusive on the outside, but her mind seems to be completely different. It's just that this kind of story, it's the kind of challenge you look at life from a strange new perspective. Meg, if you keep hanging out, you're gonna have enough sand dollars for a for a membership. When horrible things happen, not just because of some subscription, I mean, because someone wants to be evil, but because the world is full of horrible people and we're all worthless anyway, then suddenly, I'm rambling. Not again. I'm sorry. Hey, don't apologize. Oh yeah, definitely. Definitely some dark romance going on. I haven't lost interest or anything. Well, I guess it's alright then. But I feel like I should let you know that I have this problem. When I let things like books and writing fill my thoughts, my whole body gets... I kind of forget to pay attention to other people. So I'm sorry if I end up saying something strange. And please stop me if I start talking too much. I really don't think you need to worry. That just means you're passionate about reading. The least I can do is listen. It's a literature club after all. That's true. In fact, I might as well get started reading it. Yes. I mean, you don't have to, but what are you saying? Let me just get the book. I quickly retrieved the book that I had put in my bag. All right, it's fine if I sit here, right? I slip into the seat next to Yuri's. Ah, yeah. Are you sure? You seem a little apprehensive. I'm sorry. I know. It's unraveling, Meg. It's unraveling. It's not that I don't want you to. It's just something I'm not very used to. That is, in company with someone. I see. Well, just tell me if I end up distracting you or anything. All right. I open the book and start the prologue. I soon understand what Yuri means about reading in company. It's as if I can feel her presence over my shoulder as I read. It's not a particularly bad thing, maybe a little distracting, but the feeling is somewhat comforting. Yuri's in the corner of my eye. I realize that she's not actually looking at her own book. I glance over. It looks like she's reading from my book instead. Sorry. I was just bathing in it. Yuri, you really apologize a lot, don't you? I do? I don't really mean to. Sorry. I mean... Here, this should work, right? I slide my desk until it's up against Yuri's. Then I hold my book more between the two of them. I suppose so. Yuri timidly closes her own copy. Once we each lean into a little bit, our shoulders are almost touching. It feels like my left arm is in the way, so instead I use my right hand to hold the book open. I guess that makes it kind of difficult to turn the page. Here. Yuri takes her left arm and holds the left side of the book between her thumb and forefinger. Ah. I do the same with my right arm, and on the right side of the book. That way I turn a page, and Yuri slides it under her thumb after it flips to her side. Your grandma gave you sweets? That's amazing. What kind of sweets? But in holding it like this, we're huddled even closer together than before. It's actually kind of distracting me. It's as if I can feel the warmth of Yuri's face, and she's in the corner of my vision. Are you ready? Huh? To turn the page? Yeah, sorry. I think I got a bit distracted for a second. I glance over at Yuri's face again, and our eyes meet. I don't know how I'll be able to keep up with her. That's okay. You're not as used to reading, right? I don't mind being patient if it takes you a bit longer. It's probably the least I can do, since you've been so patient with me. Yeah, thanks. We continue reading. Oh, by the way, Meg, do you know about the Seamless HD mod for the Resident Evil trilogy, where they upscaled all the graphics, sharpened things up? I really want to get that working. Yuri no longer asks me if I'm ready to turn the page. Instead, I just assume that she finishes the page before me, so I turn it by my own volition. We continue the first chapter in silence. Even so, turning each page almost feels like an intimate exchange. My thumb gently letting go of the page, letting it flutter over to her side as she catches it under her own thumb. Hey Yuri, this might be silly, silly thought, but the main character kind of reminds me of you a little bit. Huh? No, I don't relate to this character at all. Definitely not. Really? I was just thinking the way she second guesses things, she says, and all that. Ah, that's what you were talking about? Sorry. I thought you meant something else about her. Something else? Never mind. We didn't even get that far yet, so I don't know why that came into my head. Yuri, are you feeling all right? Yuri's been a little fidgety ever since we started reading. You can rest if you're feeling sick or something. Your breathing is a little... My breathing? Yuri puts her hands on her chest as if to feel her heartbeat. I didn't even notice. Anyway, I'm fine. I just need some water. All right, don't push yourself. Yuri stands up and practically rushes out of the classroom. What on earth was that about? Starfish. Did something happen just now? Huh? I have no idea. Yuri was acting a little strange, I guess. So you don't know anything. Sorry, I can't say I do. Are you worried about her? No, not really. I was just making sure that you didn't do anything to her. Because that's my job. No, nothing. Don't worry, I believe you, silly. Yuri just does this sometimes, so it's nothing alarming. All right, if you say so. Anyway, why don't we start with sharing our poems with each other? Huh? Shouldn't we wait for Yuri? Well, she might be a while, so I just figured we could get started without her. Is that okay? Yeah, I was just asking. I stand up. I make a mental note of where I left off in the book, then slip it back into my bag. All right, poem time. Let's start with Natsuki. I told Natsuki I was interested in her poem yesterday. It's probably only fair if I shared mine with her first. Huh? Starfish, if you're not going to take this seriously, then go home. What? Harsh? What, you expect me to believe that you actually put effort into this? Do you think I'm stupid? I'm not a writer. Maybe it's not very good, but yeah, I did put effort in. We all start somewhere, right? Yeah, I've been waiting to use that one. If you're still proud of this first poem you ever wrote, then I'd like to read it. Painful to think about. Fine. Well, sorry. You'll get better anyway. I tell you what to improve, but you're better off just trying again. Fair enough. Well, to each their own, I guess. But Meg, did you hear about you've seen the HD mod for the Resident Evil trilogy, right? Where they upscale the graphics of the original games? I want to get that working. Anyway, I guess I gotta share mine now. Knowing you, you'll probably think it's stupid. Eagles can fly, monkeys can climb, crickets can leap, horses can race, owls can seek, cheetahs can run, eagles can fly, people can try, but that's about it. Yeah, because it takes all the background. Well, it upscales everything, so the textures are smoother, but more importantly, it takes all of the background imagery, and you can actually read like signage and stuff. Resident Evil 3 is really cool because there's so many like posters and stuff on the wall throughout the city that you can actually read. That poem was deep. I like Natsuki's poems best because it's the easiest handwriting for me to read. I told you that you weren't gonna like it. I like it. What? Just be honest. I am. Why are you so convinced that I wouldn't like it? Well, because everyone in high school thinks that writing has to be all sophisticated and stuff. So people don't even take my writing seriously. But isn't the point of poems for people to express themselves? Your writing style wouldn't make your message any less valid. Yes, exactly. I like it when it's easy to read, but it hits you hard. Like in this poem, seeing everyone around you do great things can be really disheartening, so I decided to write about it. Yeah, I understand. But the other nice thing about simple writing is that it puts more weight onto the wordplay. Like I set up for a rhyme at the end, but then made it fall flat on purpose. It helps bring out the feeling in the last line. So you did? I guess more went into it than I realized. That's what it means to be a pro. I'm glad you learned something. Didn't expect that from the youngest one here, did you? Yeah, I guess not. I decided to humor her with the last comment. I don't really care how old everyone is, but if Natsuki is feeling proud, then I won't take that away from her. And Monica. Hi, Starfish. Having a good time so far? Yeah. Good, glad to hear. By the way, since you're new and everything, if you ever have any suggestions for the club, like new activities or things we can do better, I'm always listening. Don't be afraid to bring things up. Yeah, how about this? Get rid of the club. Alright, I'll keep that in mind. Of course, I'll be afraid to bring things up. I'm much better off just going with the flow until I'm more settled in. Okay, like in one of the scenes, there's like a picture on the wall of her hanging. That's crazy. I have to look that up because I don't remember seeing that. Want to share your poem with me? It's kind of embarrassing, but I guess I'll have to. Don't worry, Starfish. We're all a little embarrassed today, you know? But it's that sort of barrier that we'll all learn to get past soon. Yeah, that's true. I had Monica. Wait, what'd that say? I hand Monica my poem. Okay. Oh, okay. Then I guess we missed it. Is it in the school? Great job, Starfish. I was going, oh, in my head while reading it. It's really metaphorical. I'm not sure why, but I didn't expect you to go for something so deep. I guess I underestimated you. When Yuri starts playing up. What's that? It's easiest for me to keep everyone's expectations low. It's in the back of the room just behind Monica. When Yuri starts... What do you mean Yuri starts playing up? That's what... But I guess it's when you first get into the club, right? That way, it's always... It always counts when I put some effort in. Oh, I got you. When Yuri starts glitching and near her death. Oh, so we haven't missed it yet. That's not very fair. Well, I guess it worked anyway. You know that Yuri likes this kind of writing, right? Which makes it even creepier, right? Because that could sort of imply that someone took a picture of it, like knew she died, took a picture, and then hung it up on the wall. Assuming, you know, Monica. Writing that's full of imagery and symbolism. Sometimes I feel like Yuri's mind is just totally detached from reality. I don't mean that like it's a bad thing, though. But sometimes I get the impression that she's just totally given up on people. She spends so much time in her own head, and it's probably a much more interesting place for her. But that's why she gets so happy when you treat her with a lot of kindness. I don't think she used to be indulged like this. She must be really starved for social interaction, so don't blame her for coming on a little strong, like earlier. I think if she gets too stimulated, she ends up withdrawing and looking for alone time. Suddenly the door opens. Yuri! I'm back. Did I miss anything? Not really. Well, we all started sharing our poems with each other. Already? I'm sorry for being late. No need to apologize. We'll still have plenty of time, so I'm more glad that you took all the time you needed. All right. Thanks, Monica. I suppose I should go get my poem now. Anyway, do you want to read my poem now? Don't worry, I'm not very good. You sound pretty confident for someone who claims to be very good. Adds to Monica's lure of knowing this is a game. People think Monica put it there after going through the game files and took a screenshot. Yeah, that makes sense for the context of the game. I think sort of literally, like she went, took a picture, hung it up. But yeah, Monica's like an AI robot controlling the game. I have to trim my mustache. It's poking in my nose. Well, that's because I have to sound confident. That doesn't mean I always feel that way, you know? I see. Well, let's read it then. Hole in wall. But he hasn't looking at me. Confused. I frantically glance at my surroundings, but my burned eyes can no longer see color. Are there others in the room? Are they talking? Or are they simply poems on flat sheets of paper? The sound of frantic scrawling playing tricks on my ears. The room begins to crinkle. Or is that wrinkle? Closing in on me. The air I breathe dissipates before it reaches my lungs. I panic. There must be a way out. It's right there. He's right there, swallowing my fears. I think my mouse battery's dying. Brandish my pen. I'll keep a battery on standby. So what do you think? It's very freeform. If that's what you call it. Sorry, I'm not really all the right person to ask for feedback. It's okay. Yeah, that kind of style has gotten pretty popular nowadays. That is, a lot of poems have been putting emphasis on timing between words and lines. When performed out loud, it can be very powerful. What was the inspiration behind this one? Well, I'm not sure if I know how to put it. I guess you could say that I had some kind of epiphany recently. It's been influencing my poems a bit. An epiphany? Yeah, something like that. I'm kind of nervous to talk about deep stuff like that because it's kind of coming on strongly. Maybe after everyone is better friends with each other. Anyway, here's Monica's writing tip of the day. Sometimes when you're writing a poem or a story, your brain gets too fixated on a specific point. If you try too hard to make it perfect, then you'll never make any progress. Force yourself to get something down on the paper and tidy it up later. Another way to think about it is this. If you keep your pen in the same spot for too long, you'll just get to a big dark puddle of ink. So, just move your hand and go with the flow. That's my advice for today. Welcome in, everybody. I'm Starfish, and Doki Doki Plus is free on Epic Games right now. It's usually $14.99, so feel free to download it. Thanks for listening. I'd love for you to hop into the chat, jump in. We got Meg here. I'll be streaming for another 15-20 minutes, and then I gotta go to work, so we'll get through as much as we can. As Yuri reads the poem, I notice her eyes lighten up. Exceptional. So what was that? Did I say that out loud? Yuri first covers her mouth, but then ends up covering her whole face. He's going to hate me. You really didn't do anything wrong, Yuri? I guess you're right. Why am I getting so nervous for? Yuri takes a breath. So, what kind of writing experience do you have? Your use of imagery and metaphors indicates you've written a lot of poetry before. Really? Wow, that's a huge compliment coming from you. This is actually my first time, really. Huh? Yuri stares at me blankly, then looks at my poem again. Well, I know that. I just mean, Yuri trails off, unable to find an excuse. She traces her finger along the words in the poem as if breaking it down more thoroughly. Okay. Pet the starfish, let's go. That's right. The starfish is scared of this game. This is the reason I was able to tell. Yeah, T-Daddy Starfish. T-Baby Starfish. What do you think of that? T-Baby Starfish. That is a good starfish. It was like $2 on Amazon. The camera doesn't show off like its pinkness. It looks kind of pale. It's just that there are specific writing habits that are usually typical of new writers. T-Baby. T-Money. Yep. And having been through that myself, I kind of learned to pick up on them. So how's work going, some abroad? I think the most noticeable thing I recognize in new writers is that they try to make their style very deliberate. You guys make it a lot of fun being here because I streamed for like almost 5 hours yesterday, and there were some sections of the stream where there wasn't anyone in chat, like, 30 minutes here or something, and I just love entertaining, so thanks for being here. In other words, they tend to pick up writing styles separate from their topic matter, and they fit the two together. The end result is that both the style and the expressiveness are weakened. Once Yuri finds her train of thought, it's as if her demeanor totally changes. Her stammering is completely gone, and she sounds like an expert. Of course, that's not something you can be blamed for. There are so many different skills and techniques that go into writing even a simple poem. Not just finding them and building them, but getting them to work together is probably the most challenging part. It might take you some time, but it all comes with practice and learning by example and trying new things. Meg, I don't know if I can play that Rising of Evil game. It's going to be so damn hard. Let me tell you, it's been a wild morning. I sent you a text about it for you to check after the stream. Oh, okay. I'll look at that. Wild morning, huh? Yeah. Haven't been here the past week. That's fun. Hey, grateful to have you. I've been off streaming for a while, so you didn't even really know I was back until I think Vulcan told you. So grateful to have you back, and grateful you're feeling better, hopefully. What kind of sickness did you have? Like a cold or a flu? I also hope that everyone else in the club gives you vulnerable feedback. Natsuki can be a little bit biased, though. My body's been a little sensitive to alcohol, so I had beer with a friend the other night, and then Sam and I got a margarita, and then I had another beer, and I got really sick the next morning. So I've been taking these detox vitamins. Biased? How? Well, never mind. I shouldn't be talking about people like that. Sorry. It's fine. I'm not sure if Yuri is apologizing to herself, to me, or Natsuki. Do you mind if I read your poem now? Please do. I'd love to share my thought process behind it. Migraine and couldn't move. Wow. There's two people that come to mind at work who get these splitting migraines frequently, and it's so wild to see how disabling it can make people. Yuri smiles dreamily as if it's a rare opportunity for her. I've only had a migraine once. I was doing an event at work. They're called field trips, where 15 to 30 kids come in. Girl Scouts, Boy Scouts, classes, clubs, and you teach them how to make a movie or make a song. So I had a 30-kid field trip on iMovie to make a movie. And the Apple Store is the shiniest place and noisiest place. And I had this migraine, and it was the toughest thing I had to get through at work. This was probably 2014 or 15, which itself is kind of funny. After all, isn't this supposed to be a literature club? Ah, Sum, thanks for gifting a sub. Greatly appreciated. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And there you go, Meg, ad-free and some new emotes. Enjoy. Ghost under the light. The treadles of hair illuminate beneath the amber glow, bathing. It must be this one. The last remaining street light to have withstood the test of time. I am going to learn how to read cursive. It must be this one. The last remaining street light to have withstood the test of time. I always mix up R's and S's. Look at those Pikachus. Pika, 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 Pikachu. Breathing the air, bet living in this past. The light flickers, I flicker back. Very generous review, Sum. Thank you so much. I'm sorry, I have such terrible handwriting. I want to get some more emotes. Yeah, I want to get some more emotes. What? I wasn't thinking that at all. Like tiered emotes. But it's okay. But it took you a long time to read. Well, I just don't read script very often. It's script, huh? I actually think your handwriting is pretty. Did you guys know cursive is called script? I always heard it was cursive. That's a relief. Also, I like the poem. Even though it's short, it was really descriptive. It wasn't too short. I usually write longer poems. Not at all. I'm really glad you like it. I'll be honest, since it's our first time sharing, I wanted to write something a little more mild. Something easy to digest, I suppose. Are you into ghosts, Yuri? Actually, the story isn't about a ghost at all, Starfish. Really? I must have totally missed the point. I think we're going to get right up to where we write the next poem, based on time. Well, I suppose you did only glance over it after all, but remember that poems often express their own thought, feeling, and experiences in their work. They usually do more than tell a simple story or paint a picture. In this case, perhaps the subject of the poem is only being symbolically compared to a ghost, lingering in her last remaining place of comfort, unable to let go of the past, and soon to be left with nothing. That's a lot more solemn, putting it that way. I hadn't even thought of that. That's impressive, huh? It's nothing, really. Yours was impressive too, so nah. If anything, I could probably learn a thing or two from you. You think so? Yeah, of course. You know, I was really nervous about doing all of this. But in the end, I enjoyed it. I'm going to keep doing my best for you, Starfish. Me too. Whew. So guys, we got a gifted sub in this stream from Sum. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So Meg's enjoying some pikas. Oh, did you hear that music? You hear that flute? You hear that? Listen. Actually, it went back to normal. I guess that's everyone. I glance around at the room. That was a little more stressful than I anticipated. I'm about to wrap up, guys, so if you're hanging out, hit me with a follow, and you'll be ready to join in on the next stream. You don't got to say nothing. You just enjoy it. It's as if everyone is judging me for my mediocre writing abilities. Even if they're just being nice, there's no way my poems can stand up to theirs. This is a literature club after all. I sigh. I guess that's what ended up getting myself into. Across the room, Monica is writing something in her notebook. My eyes land on Yuri's and Natsuki's. They gingerly exchange sheets of paper, sharing their respective poems. As they read in tandem, I watch each of their expressions change. Natsuki's eyebrows furrow in frustration. Meanwhile, Yuri smiles sadly. What's with the language? Did you say something? It's nothing. Natsuki dismissively returns the poem to the desk with one hand. I guess you could say it's fancy. Thanks. Yours is cute. Cute? Did you completely miss the symbolism or something? It's clearly about the feeling of giving up. How can that be cute? I know that. I just meant the language, I guess. I was trying to say something nice. Huh? You mean you have to try that hard to come up with something nice to say? Thanks, but it really didn't come out nice at all. Well, I do have a couple suggestions. Huh. If I was looking for suggestions, I would have asked someone who actually liked it. There you go. Put yourself in a bubble. Which people did, by the way. Monica liked it, and Starfish did too. So based on that, I'll gladly give you some suggestions of my own. First of all, excuse me? I appreciate the offer, but I've spent a long time establishing my writing style. We're in Act 2, Meg, yes. I don't expect it to change anytime soon, unless, of course, I come across something particularly inspiring, which I haven't yet. And Starfish liked my poem too, you know, and he even told me he was impressed by it. It's my favorite thing to read when people are fighting in the game for some reason. Like, I can put a little more energy into it. Natsuki suddenly stands up. Oh? I didn't realize you were so invested in trying to impress our new member, Yuri. Huh? That's not what, you're just... Yuri stands up as well. Maybe you're just jealous that Starfish appreciated my advice more than he appreciated yours. And how do you know he didn't appreciate my advice more? Are you that full of yourself? No. If I was full of myself, I would deliberately go out of my way to make everything I do overly cutesy. Well, you know what? I wasn't the one whose boobs magically grew a size bigger as soon as Starfish started showing up. Why gotta be so rude? Natsuki! Natsuki, that doesn't involve you. Taking out your own insecurities on others like that, you really act as young as you look, Natsuki. Me? Look who's talking. You want to be an edgy bitch? Edgy?
Ha! Got him!
Sorry, that's my lifestyle. It's too much for someone of your mental age to comprehend. See? Just saying that proves my point. Most people learn to get over themselves after they graduate middle school, you know. And if you want to prove anything, then stop harassing me with your sickening attitude. Do you think you can counterbalance your toxic personality just by dressing and acting cute? The only cute thing about you is how hard you try. Oh, be careful or you might cut yourself on that edge, Yuri. Oh, my bad. You already do, don't you? Did you just accuse me of cutting myself? What the fuck is wrong with your head? Yeah, go on. Let Starfish hear everything you really think. I'm sure he'll be head over heels for you after this. Haha. Suddenly, Yuri turns toward me as if she just noticed I was standing here. Starfish! She's just trying to make me look bad. That's not true. She started it. How did they give up on Sandra? I agree. I'm gonna agree with Yuri because Natsuki's putting business out there. I love this bit too. It's my favorite. Oh, what? Oh! Crazy. Yeah, get out of the way of the text. Excuse me. Hey, Starfish, why don't we step outside for a little bit, okay? Whew, gang. Sorry about that. They really shouldn't have tried to get you involved. It's probably better for us just to stay out of this. We'll go back inside once they're done yelling. I think I picked Natsuki in my first playthrough, but I can't remember for sure. I may have picked Yuri because I didn't like the way Natsuki was talking about her boobs and putting stuff out there, you know. Not appropriate for a literature club. Some president I am, right? I can't even comfort my own club members properly. I just wish I was able to do be a little more assertive sometimes, but I never have it in me to put my foot down against others. You understand, right? Anyway, if this makes you want to spend less time with the others, then that's fine. I'd be happy to spend time with you instead. Suddenly, Natsuki runs out of the classroom. She quickly runs away. Oh, dear. Well, it looks like they're done. I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it. Yuri's rocking back and forth in her desk with her palms on her forehead. Yuri? I didn't mean it. I believe you. I have no idea what Yuri might have said to Natsuki, or did. It's so weird when the music goes away, isn't it? Please don't hate me. Please. I'm not like that. There's something wrong with me today. It's fine, Yuri. We know you didn't mean it. Besides, I'm sure Natsuki will forget all about it by tomorrow, completely. Anyway, the meeting is over, so you can go home now if you want. Yuri looks at me like she wants to say something, but she keeps glancing at Monica. You can go first, Monica. I'd like to stay a little bit longer. I'm the president, so I should be the last one out. I'll wait for you to be done. Yeah, it was Monica. She's responsible for everything. Well, I'm vice president, so please let me take that responsibility today. It kind of sounds like you don't want me around for something, Yuri. It's not that. It's not that. I didn't get much of a chance to discuss the book with Starfish. It would just be embarrassing with you listening. Ugh. I guess I don't really have a choice, do I? I'm sorry for causing trouble, but I really appreciate... Oh, whoa. Okay, I've got to end it here because I need to go to work. Hey, my save... They get rid of your save file? Oh, shit. Yeah, we got a quick stream in and we were able to get a big chunk of Act 2 done. Meg, thanks so much for being here. Enjoy the sub. Thank you so much for doing that. Really generous of you. Yeah, I will. It's only a shift from 12 to 4 today. We just released the Apple Vision Pro, so I'm getting used to all of the new part numbers and assembling everything. But I think we're in a good spot where it's more fun now and we can just enjoy people trying it out. And then I'm hanging out with my friend Glenn tonight. Before that, when I get home, though, I'm going to try to get the Resident Evil games working. So it's going to be a whirlwind. And then I work Saturday at 8 a.m. So it's going to be a whirlwind weekend until Sunday when I'm off. Meg, thank you for the support and engaging in the chat and building the community up and being vital to that. And thank you for that as well. And I will talk to you all very soon. I think I'm going to be streaming Saturday after work around 3 o'clock.